My name is Alannah Hall, reading for Reaper Hospital. Jules. Unfortunately, there's no way I'd even go for a roll in the hay with him now. It wouldn't be worth bringing him into my world full of danger. He opens his mouth to speak at the same time the elevator doors whoosh apart. Of course, because today as an entity all of its own hasn't tried quite enough of my patience. Ajax is standing in the elevator. I don't want to get in, but I won't be run off either. Besides, with Cho in the elevator, Ajax will be on his best behavior. A girl has to hope, right? So, I try not to look at the sexy man I'd fucked like a horny rabbit and enter the elevator, smiling at Cho and trying to give him my full attention. So, about our date, Cho continues, winking as he steps forward, but Ajax blocks his way, causing Cho to move backward. Take the next one, pal. And like he has some special command over the doors, they slide closed and we're alone. If I didn't know better, I would think he planned it. I sigh, but softly as he leans in. I think you're avoiding me, Jules. Of course I am. I had a nightmare and meltdown in front of him after we had sex. Sex where I was so lost in a Reaper high that I could have passed for a sex-starved succubus. Pretty sure if I could, I'd crawl into a hole and wait him out rather than cross his path ever again. And that's if I hadn't noticed the weird effect he has on me. My body gets twitchy and damp when I'm around him, like it doesn't agree with the very logical decision I made to not sleep with a coworker again. It feels like if I give my full attention to that man ever again, I'll have to just get naked with him, wherever or whatever we're doing, which is completely illogical. I just have to make sure he has no idea how I feel about him, or there's no stopping this sex train. Instead of wiping my sweaty palms very obviously down the sides of my skirt, I cross my arms, shields in place. To avoid you, I would have to have conscious thoughts of you, which I don't. A lie. Of course I think of him. Not only is he my neighbor, but he has the kind of body, one I know intimately, that deserves being thought about. Thinking of his chiseled muscles and giant cock is not the way to stay calm and unaffected by him. So I switched to trying to think about all the brands of clothes that have suddenly filled my closet from the people who work for the Reapers. I list them in my head, but the list keeps getting interrupted by replays of him groaning my name and thrusting into me like I was his last wish before death row. When I glance down at his dick, he cocks his brow and smirks. You don't think of me. His voice says it all. He doesn't believe me. But I don't care. I'm a liar anyway. I think of him often, inopportune times or not. Sorry. I shrug, barely resisting the urge to check that my skirt is flame repellent, just in case. But if my skirt and panties haven't melted yet, they probably won't. Take that, logic. Connor. You look like shit, Con. And so it starts. When's the last time you got laid? It was that chick you brought home and struck out with. Turns out she likes blondes. I give my hair the Bieber flip. That kid knows his shit, and Brad scoffs. We both know there was no chick, but that doesn't stop us from our dick-measuring shit talk. Brad chuckles. Dumb blondes. Yeah, like we aren't both currently obsessed with a particular sexy blonde, but I won't mention it. Not yet. Those kinds of comments are for when I have to pull the big guns out. Well, we can't all win the ladies by telling them macho stories about life as a surgeon. Some of us have to do the real work and get our hands dirty. I wait while he hangs his white coat in his locker and grabs his lunch. We often just sit in here and eat since he has special dietary concerns that freak out some of the cafeteria customers. Honestly, though, his bloody diet doesn't bother me. A guy who wakes up after a full moon and finds that he's feasted on a deer during his carnage doesn't exactly have room to talk. Yeah, most of the time I'm pretty good at controlling the wolf within me, but my few low moments were enough to teach me not to be too judgy. When we're seated and he has his lunch poured from the donation bag in a bottle so it looks like a protein shake, he watches me dig into the turkey leg I got from my little ice cooler in the bottom of my locker. Is Jules still avoiding you? Brad. I walk to stand in front of him as he pushes off the wall. I'm taller by a couple of inches, but he's still pretty dang intimidating to most humans. I lower my voice. I can't keep hooking you up with blood. I know the alternative, but there isn't much I can do about it. Alaric, like many of the local vampires, has connections to pay for blood, but when he gets low on funds, he has a tendency to call me. I don't mind when the alternative is him possibly feeding on a human and bringing hunters down on us all, but Alaric has been abusing my kindness recently, so I need to put my foot down. He shakes his head. I'm not here for that. There's a bigger problem. Uh-oh. What kind of problem? He leans in closer, and there's actual panic in his eyes. I got word there's an Anku in the hospital. An Anku? My blood turns cold, frosts over. An Anku. Dangerous in ways mere supernaturals aren't. And they prey on death and pain. Definitely not something that should be allowed to walk around a hospital. And you're here to tell me out of the goodness of your heart? I trust other vamps more than I trust an Anku. But it isn't because they're vamps. It's because they were human once and have human tendencies. Most aren't the cool monsters that hunters think they are. They just do what they have to do in order to survive. He shrugs. There are also rumors of a hunter coming to town. Jules, we're not alone, he says, followed by another groan. I don't care. I sense Brad and Connor staring at us, but I really don't care. I can't. Not when my Reaper high is sweeping me under. Not when I'll explode if I don't orgasm soon. Do you want to go upstairs? Ajax pants. My mouth ravages his skin and I pull away long enough to yank my top over my head. Let them watch. Ajax throws his head back as I glide down his body. I attack his belt, then his slacks while I press hot, hard kisses against his belly. He's a breathtaking man. You're killing me, Jules. I don't know who says it. I don't care. I can only focus wholly on Ajax, on working out the energy that comes with a kill. Although this is more. Bigger. So potent I can't think. When I shove him down onto the hard floor and try to take his cock in my fist, he stops me and spins me so my back is against his chest. I almost protest, but then he's got one hand fondling my breast and the other between my legs, rubbing me through my shorts. I lean my head back, eyes closed, wanting more, needing more, and knowing this man will satisfy me in every way. Take off your shorts. He doesn't have to tell me twice. I'm desperate, and he's hard against me. I pull off my shorts and underwear and fall back against him. His hard cock is in between my legs, and I reach for him, teasing his tip. He jerks beneath me, swearing, and continues fondling my clit and my breasts. I want to tell him to stop, that I'm ready, but the words are stuck in my throat. When I feel the head of his cock angle towards my opening, the words finally come free. Fuck me, damn it, fuck me.